What a beautiful day to be walking amongst the bluebells. I'm not sure what I see in the way of wildlife, if any, but I thought I'd bring you along just on the off chance. I've seen some of these, I think they're called cabbage whites, butterflies, flying around the bluebells in that sunlight, so if I could get those, a picture of one of those, and amongst the anemones as well, that would be beautiful. Right, it's time to make decisions, left or right or left, or I know that the woods was south of me, so wherever I get stuck, I know that the road where I parked is north of the woods, so I walked into the sunshine. So if I do get lost, I'm just going to head away from the sunshine. Obviously not if it's hours and hours later, but in a short period of time, it'll stop me getting lost. Let's go right. I mean, this sun is glorious. In fact, out of the trees, it's quite a breezy day. But in these woods, dead quiet, can't even hear the wind. This is truly bizarre in that we've got all these bluebells and these ash and beech, a lot of beech on this side, and then you've got this little stream that runs down here with a little bridge, and then this side is pine forest, and it just completely changes. Now that's pretty awesome. You see, this is what I mean. This is a beech tree, and then the last one, and now it's just pine trees as far as my eyes can see. There's a few anemones and some bluebells, and then it just pitters out to a few ferns and the pine trees. Now this is clearly a bit of a coppiced section, a grown section for timber, because it's quite evenly spaced and laid out, and you can see a lot of activity in kind of caterpillar tracks along the way. Okay, let's keep wandering. I'm not convinced I'm going to see much here today, mainly because of the fact is that we've got workers that are clearing some trees about 1,000 yards that way, and I think the buzzard that I photographed down there a lot, I've only heard very briefly once today, which is unusual. It's funny that in the pine trees it's just almost dead silent, just the minutest of different bird sounds. And the second I get back into these woods with the ash and the bit of silver birch, some beech, some sycamore, as soon as we end up in there amongst the hazels and the willows, the bird call just becomes so much more. Yeah. Well, I enjoyed my little walk around the pine trees, but I'm going to see plenty of pine up in Scotland, and I want to come back amongst the smells and sounds of the bluebells and the marigolds, and there's more chance of seeing some kind of wildlife. Well, I had planned on being out there for a bit longer, but my tripod leg has completely seized. I've got spare parts, but they're not in my van, which I thought they were. I must admit, they must be at home. Well, that's okay. I wanted to speak to you about a few other bits anyway. Okay, let's put this away. Well, today's Wednesday, and Saturday I'm off to Scotland for a few weeks. I'm heading up to the Trossachs, possibly Mull or even Arran. And we've travelled a fair bit of Scotland in the past, over the last few years, and now I kind of want to concentrate on some areas. I mean, I know I've seen otters on Mull. I think anybody heading to Mull, it's kind of one of the wildlife mammals that they tend to go for. I also believe it's the same case with the wildlife on Arran, with deer, red squirrels, otters, puffins, gannets I believe as well, at the right time of year. But I really want to head back up to the Cairngorms because that's one of my favourite spots. Our first port of call is going to be the Galloway Forest. We have friends there that we will go and see for a couple of nights. Buzzard. And in the Galloway Forest, sorry, always sidetracked. In the Galloway Forest, they've got wild goats, which I'd like to photograph and film. I think I have done a long time ago. Now, obviously, over the next few days, I'm loading up the van, and I've got a couple of roof boxes that I put some of my kind of ghillie suits and things like that in. And I've had quite a few people have asked me about the two kind of ghillie suits and the poncho that I carry. Want to know what I think of it and how much it cost me and where I got it from. Usually asking me for a link to the exact same one. Well, what I thought I'd do today, as I'm just sitting and enjoying the sunshine, is take them out the roof box and give you a bit of a better look at them, because each of the ghillie suits has a slightly different purpose, I guess. So let's dig them out. And yes, in case you wondered, I'm on a hell of a tilt. It's not the wonky camera, it's the wonky parking. I think that's the poncho. Well, these are the three outfits that I use for my wildlife photography. This one is just a leaf printed poncho, and then we've got a leaf printed jacket and trousers as a suit, and then like my grass ghillie suit. This one I tend to wear if I'm staying more stationary, not so much worn in the woodland. I've used that one down by sand dunes, on beaches. I've worn it when I've been trying to find otters. Not so much the bottom half, the leg set, but more just the top half. Because usually I'm on my knees anyway, round by rocks and boulders, so it's usually the top half that you see. And I do have the headpiece for that also. Let's start with the poncho. The poncho was about £20 from eBay or Amazon, I can't remember now. But this is just a really thin, lightweight mesh that this is always in my bag because it crumbles up to such a small amount and goes in a really small stuff sack. So no matter what I'm wearing or wherever I am, if I want something just to throw over and camouflage my arms and limbs and my torso, etc., then I find that much easier to do. And then often if I'm wearing my two-piece, I'll drape this over my camera and tripod so it conceals the shape and colour of everything. Like I said, a lot of people have asked me about this particular item, and this is probably the most versatile because I also use this one to clip over the camper van sliding door and drape down and use it for a van hide. And I'll show you a picture or two just there. And as you can see, that it just leaves me a small hole, which is the hood section that I can poke my camera out of, and that works really well. So that is, you know, the cheapest out of the three and the most versatile. And then we're going to the two-piece. Now, the two-piece, I also bought a pair of gloves. The suit was £19 on Amazon. The gloves I think were £11 on Amazon. They've got slightly sticky, like beaded grip, which is nice. Again, the leaf print, so you don't see your digits. They're stretchy, so if you order a bit too small, doesn't matter. I ordered slightly larger than I thought they were, but then I figured that when I was out with them the other week and I was wearing them, my hands got cold. I managed to put my wind stoppers underneath them. So although in the summer they're not like too big, they're just large on the stretchiness. So I could wear another pair of liner gloves underneath those to keep my hands that bit warmer. And I also bought the head net, which I bought before I bought the suit. I bought this because I wanted to use it in conjunction with the poncho. As you can kind of see, they are different, slightly different colours, but it doesn't really make any difference. It's the breaking up of the pattern that's the important thing. These two are just kind of made in China and shipped over. The headpiece was a Jack Pike product, and I bought that because it's elasticated. It's got a flip out kind of visor mesh. It's actually got a little nose piece, which I'm not sure if you can see, a little curved bit to actually sit on your nose, which I've found is really nice. And then it's got the pull draw cord that goes over, so you can pull it all behind your head. So you can either have it like this, so it's just showing your eyes and, you know, this part of your body, or you can just pull the mesh down, and which, to be perfectly honest, once you're up against it, you can see absolutely fine. You really don't lose any vision at all. In fact, let me just hang it over the camera and you'll see what I mean. See, once it's up close, you barely even notice it behind your eyes. So that was, I think that was £11, Jack Pike, Amazon or eBay. And the two-piece is nice because the trousers, it means you can walk around in, elastic cuffed, elastic waist, zip up. So in the summer, when it's hot and I just want to wear a t-shirt, I'll probably find that this does an amazing job, and the wind will blow through it nicely, keep you nice and cool. I used this when I was looking for the barn owls, and I'll show you a picture just here. In fact, I think that picture there also shows the poncho over the tripod, to show you together how well that works. And last but not least, my original ghillie suit, which I bought some 4 or 5 years ago. It's just a woven mesh. Let me bring you closer. So it's just a woven mesh. camo, elastic waisted, and these are done in layers. I mean, it's been stuck in the bag. What I do is when I put it on, once I put it on, I usually swing myself around and it kind of loosens it all and spreads it out a bit, makes it hang a bit better. I'll show you, you can see where I wore it here. Worn it a couple of times recently, in fact. When I've been laying down and on the edge of a bank or grassy woodland or long grasses, that's been perfect. And again, that comes with the headpiece, and you can see how it's made. And then it did have, this was completely concealed, but the mesh on this was really horrible to see out of. So I've done without it, and I find that this does just hang over enough. And then when I use the draw cord, it kind of literally just covers, just leaves my eyes on show, but the hair comes down so far, you barely even notice my face behind it. I might put another piece of mesh in there, I don't know. But I found so far I haven't really needed to. And this came with this from China. And this was under £30 as well. And like I said, this was the first one that I bought. And just the other couple of things I use. Obviously, it's like a £10 army style bedroll, that it was going to be uncomfortable or muddy or sandy. And I use this for that, and I've just waited till it's dried and then got the air compressor out and just dried it all out. And if I know it's going to be that wet, I've got, as you can see, it's still covered in sand and stuff, but this was like a £6 purchase, an old army Gore-Tex bivvy bag that I've just cut open. I can lay it down on the mud, on the sand, on the chalk. I used this on a really chalky wet area at Swanbourne Lake in Arundel a few months ago, and this saved everything getting wet, covered in duck poo, chalk, water, and then take it home, pressure wash it off, and it's good to go again. But I use this for wrapping up this ghillie suit in it, and that's mainly because I didn't have the other two then, so I'll now probably start wrapping this separately, and I'll probably put that back in the bag that it came in. But this and the foam are nearly always together. Let me just put this away. And another silly little thing that have been quite the godsend, whether I'm camping or out in the van, is that when anything's wet, coats, jackets, jumpers, anything that needs airing or to dry out, these folding coat hangers are awesome. They get used inside the camper. The diesel heater faces this way, so I can hang, when the door's shut, I can hang up a wet coat and the diesel heater blows directly on it. And these were a couple of £1 for 3. So a silly little thing that makes all the difference. Another inexpensive thing that I'm glad I added was like this £5 GoPro battery charger to the van, because I've used both batteries today, but then I've had them a long time, and I guess they're just getting old, so they need replacing. I think I'm going to make another cup of coffee and then just sit here for a bit and watch the wildlife. I've got the camera set up to the side. But other than maybe some bluebell pictures, I don't really plan on taking any images unless I'm lucky enough that the buzzard comes in and kind of lands on the log in front of me. Other than that, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy, and then I'm going to go home. So there won't be a video for the next 2 weeks, I'm afraid, unless, because I will be editing whilst I'm away, I might be lucky enough to find an area that I've got good enough reception to upload on my mobile internet, or I can find somewhere that I can use with the Wi-Fi from maybe a cafe or something that I can upload. So if you don't hear from me for a few weeks, I apologise. It's because I'm in Scotland trying to get as many videos made as I can, because that's where the excitement is for me, much further up north. But I know this isn't the video that most people tune in for, because you're hoping to see some wildlife. But I just wanted to answer a few of the questions that are usually involving most of the messages and emails that I get. Thank you for persevering. I look forward to sharing some Scotland videos when I get back. So until then, thanks for watching and see you soon.